Brothers and sisters, Brother John here, watchman for that great day. I have to share with you something that I'm seeing, and it all started. I'll give you a little intro here on how my thought started to play out this morning. It was in answering one of the comments on my site here, and the comment was by Brother Brian N. All right. And he says, I'll read it to you, and then I'll let you hear what I replied. So he says, thanks so much, Brother John, for all your research and revelation on this matter. Gave an entirely new meaning to me of the old wineskin and new wine. Just as our bodies must undergo a transformation, whereas to be capable of spiritual eternity. Now, my only question would be, being that the tribulation period soon falls upon the heels of the rapture, then how long would this tribulation period even be? So it's a good question, Brian. Real good question, and you can read what my comment is, but I'm going to read it on the air at this point on the video. But it's a good question because it got me thinking. First of all, what really matters to us all, brothers and sisters, not so much as how much longer that the tribulation period is, but that how close is the rapture? Isn't that what we're all waiting for? We're not looking to go through a tribulation period. At least I'm not, and I know that there's plenty of information in the Bible specifically talking about the escape. So Revelation or a tribulation would be definitely the time of leaving before the tribulation starts. Okay, so that's what we're all looking for. But how long? That's a good question, though, because as far as trying to figure out, when the 7 years would be, and if it's divided up, and all of this, it's a good question. So my thought process started on this question. So I'll continue to read the final part of Brian N's question. So he says, I know that Brother Steve was depicting that possible the great Revelation 12 sign could kind of be the bookend to the Great Tribulation. So I don't particularly believe that. I love my brother Steve. I want you all to know I love my brother Stephen. And it's all our looking and theories and understanding, but there's a lot of speculation. Ultimately, bottom line is it doesn't matter how much longer after the rapture happens. It could be 2 days, or it could be 10 years, or it could be 3.5 or 7 or 1, okay? But this is what I'm going to give you a very interesting answer. It had me thinking as I started to reply. So that's what this video is about, a reply to this question. So that part, Brian N says, that part puzzles me because of Revelation 12:6. The woman fled into the wilderness to a place prepared for her by God, where she might be taken care of for the 1260 days. So wouldn't this passage seem to indicate onset of tribulation as opposed to the culmination of the tribulation? And then he says blessings. And I thank you for that question. That's an awesome question, and it shows some thought involved. And anyone that studies the scriptures can see these timelines, okay? But now let me give you what I said in the comment. And anybody can go here and read the comment because it's an important comment, I do believe. But I'm going to go a little further than what I said in the comment, but I'd like to read to you what I replied. So here we are. So I go, yes, that is my belief. I love Brother Steve, and I'm thankful to him for all that he has revealed. I also have listened to Renee M. videos, more last year than recently, I must confess. But I see that the tribulation is determined for a 7-year period, and that goes along with Daniel 9:27, because the covenant is confirmed for 1 week, which is it's 7 days. If anything, it's 7 days, and we know that the day for a year thing. So I look at it that way at this point. I've looked at it different ways all throughout my ministry, okay? But I have to look at it this way just to get us to that point. You understand? So, and this is pretty much going to, it's what I'm seeing now, and it couldn't have been seen years ago, but it's being seen now because we're at the end. And the closer to the end we get, we're going to get the completion of this, as Renee M. would say, the puzzle. So the pieces fit together better towards when you're at the door, where the door is going to open up and the rapture is going to happen, and we'll be with the Lord. Okay, so we'll get a more complete understanding as this time approaches. So we know that we're on the door. The door is Jesus is at the door, brothers and sisters. And if you don't think that we're about out of here, we are. We are within, say, 2 weeks to another month and a half. All right, but even before the 2 weeks, because right now we're looking, because we have a high watch because of what Amos chapter 8 verse 2 has said. So we're in a Jubilee that is finishing, correct? All right. This is the last Jubilee. This is the 120th Jubilee. Genesis 6:3, 120 years, right? Man's time. God's not going to, his spirit will not always strive with man, but his days will be yet 120 years. Time 50, 6,000 years. So here we are. All right, so let me read you this. But I see that tribulation is determined for a 7-year period. But when it comes to the words that Jesus spoke in Matthew 24:22, except those days be shortened, ... And then we read in Revelation 13:5 that the beast, or the New World Order, whatever, someone's given power. So we'll be given power to continue for 1,260 days, right? Putting these verses together brings light to the subject of how long the tribulation will be. All right? And still leaves it open for interpretation as to the question of, could it be even shorter than the 3.5 years? That's another story, right? But this is all in the idea of speculation, but at least we have to have a 7-year period that's confirmed, okay? We have to have something is going to be confirmed for 7 years, and then the beast or the Antichrist or whatever you want to call him is given power to continue, which could be after the first 3.5 years. All right, but we're taken out before the 7 years starts. That's what I have to make clear here. No matter what the amount of time is, 7 years or 3.5 years or 10 years or 20 years, it doesn't matter. Once we're raptured out, that's it. We have our glorified bodies. We're with Jesus. What does it matter? Okay. But for now, we play with the balance to try to, see where we are and position things. And so at this point, we have to come to a point where there's going to be a 7-year period that's confirmed. Okay. All right, and that's that 1 week, and it's a covenant that's already existing. So who knows what it is? I mean, just many speculative thoughts. It looks like the covenant, with many could have been the Nobel Peace Prize with Obama. There's many other things. The Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. All right, the covenant may be already made with Iran. Okay, with the nuclear agreement. All right, there's so many different things that we can speculate about. But let me get to the point. So the next part of my reply, it says, especially since Deuteronomy 24:5 states that when a man hath taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any business, but he shall be free at home 1 year. So that right there gives you some interesting stuff. And shall cheer up his wife. Remember, brothers and sisters, we're the bride of Christ, all right, considered that way. Cheer up his wife, which he hath taken. Jesus is coming to take his bride, the wise ones that await his return. And when he does, it could literally be only 1 year till he returns with us, okay, to set up his kingdom on this earth, all right, for the 1,000 years. All right, and it's a transitional period. All we know is at this point that there's going to be a 7-year period confirmed. All right, And it says that, for the elect's sake, Jesus said he would shorten those days. So how short, right? We just don't know. But it's interesting how, as I was reading Deuteronomy 24:5 and started to give it some thought, because recently we just realized that, for the most part, most Christians, most Gentile Christians have always believed that the new year would change, and it was the civil new year, but it changes in the 7th month. So just recently we're starting to see that the Jubilee doesn't start in the 7th month, but it's the trumpet of the Jubilee is blown in the 7th month to proclaim that it would be arriving. All right, it's the proclamation of the Jubilee that would come. And when does the Jubilee start? On the first day of Nisan, the brand new year. Okay, so we're right now, today, the 29th. Is it the 29th? No, it's the 30th. So today is the first day. All right, first day of Nisan. No, it's the second day of Nisan. See, I'm still not comfortable with where I'm at. It's either the first or the second day of Nisan. All right, it's either the first day or the second day. I'm not sure yet. But the sighting of the new moon most likely happened, according to different sites that I've looked at, on the 29th, which was yesterday, with last night. And remember, we're going by Jerusalem time, and we start the day in the evening. And got to remember that. If it's starting the day at night at sundown, then the 29th at sundown, okay, and they sight the first sighting of the new moon, then that gives you, your start of Nisan. So we'll know soon. We might not know by the 3rd if it's actually the 3rd yet. You know what I'm saying? It could be a day later. We could be a day off. We're working right now. We're really trying to see where we are. But let me get back to the thought. So let's just understand now that we see that if the Jubilee year starts on Nisan, I don't think it's going to end on September the 23rd at the new year change, because that's not really the new year. It's the civil new year. So what it looks like now is it's a full year for the Jubilee. The Jubilee would end before the next new year. You see? Because you got to give the Jubilee 12 months because it's a full year. Correct? So we could actually be to the point now where the Jubilee lasts for a whole year, which won't change until next Nisan 1, which is 2018. All right? It doesn't mean we're going to be here until then, but what it does mean, which is more to the point of this video, and I want you to think about this, is that Deuteronomy 24:5 specifically tells us that when a man, Jesus Christ was a man, yet he was our God, our Lord, okay? When Jesus Christ has taken his bride, what's happening? He shall not go out to war. That means that it won't be he's not returning anyway at that point, because neither shall he be charged with any business. All right, so he's home with us. He's home with the bride, but he shall be free at home 1 year. So if we're taken, listen to me. This is important. If we're taken on anywhere from Nisan 1, which is now, to Nisan 14, which is before Passover, then the 1 year period goes until next Nisan 1 and before Nisan 14. Wherever we're taken gives you that 1 year. You understand? So I could be literally talking to you right now. That's how close we are. And all of a sudden I'm gone. And here, I'm still here, I'm finishing the video, but we could be snapped out of here while I'm talking on this video. Might not ever get uploaded. That's how close we are. If it's uploaded and you're watching it, well, God bless you. But the closeness of the moment is literally like minutes. We're in seconds. We're in a time where we're aware that it could be at any moment now. So that's just my thought, and I had to make this video and bring it to you because it looks like this is the prime time, okay? It's the prime time. Remember, when Jesus rode in on the triumphal entry, that was the time described in Daniel chapter 9, 25. It was to the exact day. So when the prophecy was fulfilled, when he rode in, it stopped the clock, leaving that 1-7, right? He rode in after 483 years, because it was 70 times 7. And he rode in on the colt of the ass, and the clock stopped. I don't know what time it stopped. I don't know if it stopped right then, but it was right in that day. That was the day. So sometime during that day, the clock stopped, and it would begin again, most likely, like Brother Stephen Fletcher has said. Could it be possible that that's the same place that the clock starts again? Okay? That's what we need to be focused on. That was the time it stopped. Wouldn't it start again at the same time? So Nisan 10 is a big one. All right? But from what I just saw just the other day, made the video about Nisan 3, we need to be aware that we're close. All right? So it also, when it stopped the clock, it left that 1-7. All right? So that's why you'd have to say there would be a 7-year period. All right? And it could even work out to be where there is 2 7-year periods, and one of those 7-year periods has already expired, because it kind of goes along with the time of Jacob's trouble when he had to work another 7 years. You see, there's 2 periods. A 7-year period where there's stuff being done, and then another 7 years, all right? Just like in the famine, right, with Joseph in Egypt. 2 7 years. 1 7-year period was all good, and then there was another 7-year period with famine, right? Okay. So we're looking at the time. The time is close. I can't speed up the time any more than you can. But we can surely be aware and be joyful and sober-minded and look for his coming. Brothers and sisters, I'll see you soon. This has been a blessing for me to make this little video, and I hope you enjoy it. God bless you. Brother John, watchman for that great day, out.